Hello, everybody. We are live. We're doing this. This is Rees Chua-Finlay. He's a
Hello.
sketch artist for Tops. He's an author, artist. You've worked on comics, book, all kinds of stuff. Very impressive person. Rees, yeah, tell us a little bit about what you do. And
Yeah, so this all started exactly 10 years ago, actually, in 2015. I used to work for a loan company collecting debt repayments, which is incredibly soul sucking. And as a young man with very little prospects, I thought, you know, if I want to do something with my life, I've just got to throw myself in and do it. And as a big comic book fan, it was comic books. I really wanted to make comic books. And about 2 years into that, it became quite clear that there is no money in comic books. You cannot make a living. But I started seeing a lot of other artists do something called a sketch card for these trading card companies. And I love trading cards. I grew up with trading cards. We used to be able to buy them for an extremely low price
oh
in the
yeah,
convenience store. How times have changed.
oh yeah.
So I believe Star Wars Masterworks 2016 was my first ever sketch card gig.
You've been doing it 10
Incredibly,
years.
yeah, on and off. Back then, Tops was under the ownership of Tops, and they would only pay $3 per card, which is not
Wow.
sustainable. Even if you're doing the simplest little sketches, it's going to take more than $3 worth of work. So you kind of do, well, I would kind of do small amounts, 30 cards per set as a contribution. And then you
Yeah.
get the clout, so you can do commissions and stuff. But things have changed a lot over the years. Obviously, the trading card industry in general just exploded around 2020 and really shows no signs of slowing down. And Fanatics bought out Tops, which led to a lot of change.
Yeah.
There's probably people in the comments who have something to say about that,
Yeah.
but from an artist perspective, due to my personal circumstances, they now pay $15 per card for someone at my skill level, which is a lot more sustainable. If I can do one or
Yeah.
two an hour, that's pretty close to a minimum wage. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So it was around this time last year I came back in a big bad way, happy to work for them like that, and
Nice.
was taking on quite large quantities. But
Yeah. No,
yeah,
and
it was a really good opportunity, and life was really good. Me and my wife both had work from home jobs. We both wanted to aspire to do our own personal projects, be that comic books. We had our own trading card game called Clash of the Capybaras,
oh
which
hell
had
yeah.
5 successful
Yeah, I'm
Kickstarters
gonna
and
need a
comic books.
box of that. I'm gonna need a
Oh,
box of that to open. I'm gonna need a box of that to open.
okay, I'll sort you out with some for the
Get there.
followers as well. Maybe we can do some sort of giveaway.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
talk about
no.
that later.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
So yeah, life was pretty grand. And then in late January of this year, my wife unfortunately passed away. And as incredibly difficult as that was, I then, on top of that, had all these work concerns because being the freelancer, you never know where your next gig is coming from. But at the same time, my bills had doubled. It was a fight for survival while also dealing with the most difficult and horrible days of my life.
yeah.
But I was just desperate for this next gig to have that security and be able to carry on. And then that invite came in, and it happened to be Spongebob SquarePants, which was her favorite cartoon. It was something we'd quote on the daily, and we'd buy all the merch. So to see this 25th anniversary card set announced was just so exciting, and it felt like a sign from the universe. And it probably is because it's the anniversary year, but let's ignore that. It was a sign from the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the set has seen so much success, and
Yeah, that
boxes are up to the hobby boxes are up to $400 on the secondary market, which is I think double of what it originally cost.
oh
So
wow.
I mean, you really are a part of something extremely special. One of the most successful sets they've made. And if you look at the blaster boxes, which isn't the hobby box, it's like the tinier,
That's
smaller.
small one, yeah.
Those were, I think, $20. They're up to $120 on the secondary market, which is so you're really a part of something special. And not only that, but you've kind of elevated the set. I think I think what you've done is so powerful and so special and incredibly unique. I don't think anything, as far as I know, has ever happened like this, where you've
Yeah,
immortalized someone with you've put them in this set, and some people are going to pull these cards and they're going to get them graded and sealed, and that's it. Like, they are permanently a part of this hobby, and I think that's just so special. What you did, I'm going to pull up the cards that he made to memorialize his wife. Yen is her name, correct?
yes.
So this is this is the one I pulled, the one where SpongeBob is yelling, the scene from the movie where he's kind of just yelling and he says, like, "See you later," and he's just it's a pretty awesome card. If you remember from my video, I pulled that, and how we met was I pulled that card, that sketch card, from opening the hobby box. The video has like 20,000 some odd views. Pretty damn
Wow.
a lot of views. And I had put the sketch card on eBay, not knowing anything about it, not knowing the backstory behind it. And I was out to eat. I put it online and I put it on eBay. It was getting bids. I went out to eat with some friends. We were watching a football game, and you would reach out to me on Instagram, and I'm sitting there just reading your message, and I was blown away. I'm like, yeah, I it was like instinctive. I'm like, yeah, this is something bigger than me, bigger than my videos, bigger than the hobby, bigger than money. I immediately, like, I don't know if I took any penalty or hit on eBay, for taking it out. I don't really care, but took the card off eBay immediately, and I was like, I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna watch the video that Reese sent me, and I linked his YouTube in the description. He has a whole video about making these cards, and immediately, we worked something out. I sent him the card, and just really, really cool way to meet Reese. But yeah, what was it like making these cards and waiting to see if they got approved? How nerve-wracking was that? How scary was that?
It's nervous at the best of times. I mean, going back to what you were saying about the hype, like, it's uncomparable. I've done
Yeah.
countless Star Wars sets, and they come out, you make a post, you get the same 20 likes from the same 20 people, and it just moves on. But with this SpongeBob, the hype around it was palpable. And I think maybe there was a bit of an inkling of that before it even got announced, and only us artists knew about it because it was so fresh and fun.
How long,
That there was,
not to cut you off, how long before a set gets announced are you already working on it? If you're allowed to even say that. Like, when
it can vary, but I'd say it's about 6 months. They give us quite a nice
wow.
window
So
to
you knew 6
get
months
it done.
before this came out that it was gonna happen? Because, man, it was a big deal. It was a really big
Mm.
deal, this set. That's some
Yeah, it was
secret.
around late February, early March. I would have started it. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, so quite a turnaround. So yeah, I was just shaking to try and I overshare on my Instagram story anyway, so I was
Yeah.
really chomping at the bit to talk about
I
it.
mean, I've opened a couple
But
of these boxes, and it is really, I mean, it's one of my favorite products I've ever opened that Tops has made. Um, but
yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a generational favorite of many people. So it was a guaranteed success, I think. But I got the impression amongst the artists there was a little bit of anxiety about what we could do and what we couldn't do, because it's very different to Star Wars, where with Star Wars the remit is very much just copying from photos,
yeah,
which creatively it's not very fulfilling, but it does give you an opportunity where you just got to try and do the best rendering that you can.
yeah. And because now I'm gonna like nerd out, because again, I open so many of these products, and I just know not, and we get sketch cards, and they're so special because they truly are a one of one unique card that can't be replicated, duplicated. They're not reprinted. It's literally a raw sketch. It's you get these cards, you know nothing about the artist, you know nothing about the effort that went into this, and the whole process. But first of all, how do you even get a job with Tops? Do they reach out to you? Do they see your work online and reach out to you, or do you hit them up and offer to work for them and make cards for them?
Yeah, I mean, when I did it 10 years ago, it was you'd send some samples over, and if they like it, they'll get in touch. It's all very modern and automated now. It's Google Forms and stuff you can fill in depending on
Yeah.
what franchise you want to work on and what style. So it's a lot more accessible now than it was back then. But as great in people's heads as it is that you can just easily jump onto one of these things, it's a lot of work. And especially if you're someone like me who's trying to make a living
Yeah.
from this work, you've got to do high quantities to a high standard to get for approvals
Wow.
and just be very busy with it. So it's not some get rich quick hustle. Unfortunately, it is
Yeah. No, I
a
bet.
lot of graft.
How many cards do you submit per set, would you say? Is it different
So back
for
in,
everyone?
yeah, you can choose how many you sign up for. So back in the day, back when it did pay $3, for me, the smartest thing to do was to take on a small, modest quantity of 30,
Yeah.
just to be part of it. Whereas these days, I'd really like to push it up to 100, 200.
Wow.
But
You've done 200 for a set.
I've
Wow.
just finished doing 200 for a set, and
Wow.
I've had 2 weeks off this year. That was a strange thing as well because the last 2 or 3 years I'd done 3 or 4 sets, whereas this year I have worked consistently on sets every month until just recently.
Wow.
So I'm
So
slightly unemployed right now, but we don't worry about that.
No.
That very much felt like a blessing as well in itself. Going back to the Spongebob invite, that I was so worried about staying employed and staying in with Tops so I can keep
Yeah.
earning money working from home because life was a bit of a mess. So having that lifeline of being able to do Tops work where you work from home, you choose your own hours, and when it was earlier in the year, I was taking smaller quantities just for the sake of my own health. But
Yeah. Wow.
as the months have progressed,
200.
with
200.
200,
Wow.
it was agonizing, but we got there.
And have you ever worked on a Garbage Pail Kids set, or you've done Star Wars, SpongeBob, Stranger Things? Have you ever done Garbage Pail Kids?
Unfortunately, not. I think that's a different department. Same with the sports. I'd love to get in on the sports
Oh
side
yeah.
of things as well. And then there's
I
the
don't know
Disney
why they
ones,
don't do
but
it for sports. Like, I mean, they do have a
they
couple
do.
sets where they do. I wish they would implement it more because, in my opinion, sketch cards I mean, they really do elevate sets. It's like it it's like when I pull a sketch card, it's extremely exciting. They could, like you said, you can make a lot. And even if they're common, it still is extremely special to pull a one of one where only you own this. You can collect it, own it, and no one else can have that card. Just owning a one of one, pulling a one of one. I mean, the odds are astronomical to pull a real, like, non-sketch one of one. And the thrill of pulling a one of one, even if it's not as uncommon or rare, it's still very, very special. And I wish they would implement it more in sports because these sports products feel very hollow. The odds are not very good. They're very stacked against you. But I've hit a couple sketch cards out of Star Wars stuff, and like it just makes the experience way better. So I wish they would beef up the sketch cards in sports. I mean, that would be really cool. That'd be really
Yeah, and I
cool.
mean, even for collectors and speculators, the aftermarket price on these things is
Yeah.
absolutely off the chain because it is a one
Yeah.
of one piece of
Yeah.
official merchandise.
Speaking of that, what comes across your mind when you see something like this? Just a sketch you made, not even when you see something like this and you see the card sell for $370. How does that make you feel? Like, do you pay attention to what your cards sell for? Is it an ego thing, or you don't even like to look at it?
It's all of those things. Like on the one hand, I can say, oh, it's a shame to see them go for that much when I'm being paid nowhere near
Yeah.
that. but I do also have an eBay notification set up for my own name, which is a disgusting thing to admit to, but that's very unbecoming.
Yeah.
But no, it is good to track the aftermarket prices and kind of know where you stand.
Yeah.
Because I think with Star Wars, looking at my sold listings, I probably flutter around $100 to $200. Wow. Maybe some of my older stuff is a lot less because it wasn't as good. But, you know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. The popularity of the character, the details, even the medium you use, like painted ones are always going to exceed the average price, which I'm sure you're going to talk about right now.
Let's pull these up. These are the Van Gogh ones that you made in the SpongeBob set. What was it? How difficult is it to make these?
Yeah, I've done. This is my first dabbling with Van Gogh. We did it for the Capybara trading card game. I should have brought some more samples with me so I could show you the paintings. Van Gogh was my wife's favorite artist. We went to this really cool exhibit where it's all three-dimensional and projected onto the walls. So Van Gogh's always been quite a presence. And then Pikachu is ground zero for this. And the success of that, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I'd love to do that as a capybara. So I did that. And then when this rolled around, I was like, I could do that again for SpongeBob. It would be so cool and unique. Just to milk the teat of that Pikachu card.
I can't even, and that Pikachu card, they made so many of them and they still go for like several $1,000s.
I missed out on getting it for free. I could have had it for free, but I didn't check out my basket in time.
I mean, I had a ton of Pokemon cards that, you know, I used to live in New York when I was a kid, and we moved to Florida, and my mom had thrown out all my Pokemon cards from, you know, 99, 2000. And I always kind of screw with her and just show her, oh, look at what these cards, like I had this exact card, look at what it's selling for now, and would always just mess with her on that. But yeah, so the Van Gogh cards, I'm going to show you. I don't know if you've seen what the Mrs. Puff one sold for. Have you seen what that one sold for yet?
I want to say 1,250.
Yeah, it sold for 1,200. What does that do? What is that? Because again, like, I know obviously you don't get a commission from that, which would be like, you know, I wish somehow they could set that up, but what is it? What goes through your head when you see that one of your pieces selling for that much on a sketch card?
When it first happened, I shared that meme where it's when you accidentally become important at work and it's like a really goofy looking guy at the table. That's how I felt, because I've never seen, like, those sort of prices are for like the top tier artists, and I'm comfortably mid tier. You know, there's only so much I can do for $15. Also trying to survive.
That's what you get per card is $15.
Yeah.
That's per card.
So typically I would just do inks and markers and stuff because I'm very experienced with that, so I can do it quite fast and to a high standard. But because obviously the magic around this set, feeling like it was a bit of a sign from the universe and wanting to honor my wife, I really started flexing with the SpongeBob, and look what's happened. Has clearly yielded some sort of result.
I mean, when they see something like that, they've got to want to keep working with you and bringing you around, because I've hit a lot of sketch cards, you know, especially the most common from Garbage Pail Kids, and some of them are very low effort, just kind of, you know, colorless pencil sketches, and then you see something like that, like these Van Gogh ones. Here, I'll bring them back up. But
I mean, going back to when it was $3, it's kind of, you'd expect a nice simple pencil sketch, and that's what they were. If you look at some of the older Star Wars ones, they are incredibly simple. And ironically, they're very high value because of that, because back then you'd have quite a few known name artists, or about to be known. There's quite a few big players in comic books who were doing sketch cards back then. And it's just, I think it might just be through sheer competition of the artists that's driven the quality up to the point where, you know, people start to expect photorealism and really high-end stuff, which is out there, and as some incredible artists do an incredible job of it. But I don't know, it's just about huge disparagement from what's being paid to what these aftermarket prices are. And it's something that does weigh on my mind a lot, because obviously I don't want to do a sheer amount of work that's just not sustainable. You know, it takes almost a day to do a painting, so I can't just do a bunch of paintings for pennies and stuff. But also at the same time, I want the collectors to have something good. I want to stay in Topps good books to keep being employed. So it's just this constant juggle of all of that, and you've got to make sure you're well ahead of deadlines, which I always do because I'm brilliant. But and then keeping a high approval rate, so you know when there is a bit of a time crunch, you still got to make sure it's the best quality it can be. So it's quite a few just factors all coming into it beyond just draw that thing from that show.
Yeah. No, I mean, hell, and one of the thing is, I didn't realize there was an approval. I didn't know some of them don't get approved. So how often does a card not get approved when you submit it to Topps?
Well, it depends on the artwork. Percentage wise, I'm in the high 90s, so it's not really based on skill level. Like the photorealistic guy is probably being held to the same standard as someone who just does a nice, simple but really elegant and detailed ink sketch. I think it's more about making sure it's canon to the show. So if it's Boba Fett, it's got to look like Boba Fett does. You can't can't have the antenna on the wrong side, etc., etc.
Oh, so
So
they really
it's mainly stuff like that.
They really,
I mean,
they really analyze.
I guess that's their job in the licensing department, is to make sure it is all in accordance with the brand. So with SpongeBob, we had quite a big list of things we couldn't do. No politics, can't draw SpongeBob with a gun or whatever. So but within that, you could read between the lines and go, okay, they're not saying you can't do unique things. It doesn't have to strictly be copying from movie screenshots. So that was when I started to think.
They give you the freedom to pick any characters you want. They don't give you, I mean, they give you the, like you said, the very broad, like, don't draw them killing someone or committing crime, but they don't give you a list of characters or scenes or movies or shows to use for Star Wars or SpongeBob. They just give you the blank.
For Star Wars, yes, there's quite a few. There's a big list of certain actors and stuff they don't have the likeness rights to.
Gotcha.
Is it the twin sisters in the cantina from the original Star Wars? There's something about the rights to them.
Yeah.
So there was never an action figure, and because I think Lucasfilm broadly owns the rights to all the likenesses and stuff. So within reason, you're quite flexible on what you can do. And then you've got stuff like maybe the X-Files, where they don't have the likeness rights to all the characters. So it gets to a point where they're saying, don't bother drawing Mulder and Scully because Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are going to say no.
Yeah.
So when the first X-Files set I worked on, all of my Scully ones were rejected.
And that was a top set? Topps did?
No, that was Upper Deck. But
so you're allowed to do work for Upper Deck at the same time, or was this before?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You can work for other companies. The only big rule with Topps these days is don't do fan art, don't do commissions, don't turn things into print with Comic Cons, and just no bootlegging, basically, while working on the official stuff, which I totally get, because I think if you're out there saying I'm an official Star Wars licensed artist and then selling some prints, I think the buyer at the convention or online, they might think that that's an official product they're buying, and I think that's where the big issue is coming from with the licensing. So I've been very hardline on that since coming back to work for them. So
wow,
that's the sad thing as well about how high the Van Goghs are selling for. So people come into my DMs and say, "Hey, can you do me an unofficial one?"
Wow.
So they can save a bit of money. And as much as I would love that money, considering I just have to be strong and say no.
But it's great though that they do have you working on so many sets. And I mean, you said you only had 2 weeks off. And so what has been like the main difference, and has it been? You've said you've gotten a pay increase since Fanatics took over Tops. It's been positive for the artists, for you guys. Has it been a better
That's to say it's
system?
positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's positive for all artists because maybe circumstantially it doesn't work as well for them. Because back
Mhm.
then we'd get $3 and they'd let us keep some blank cards. I think I've got some around actually. Yeah, I've got some X-Files ones. So they let you keep
Cool.
an extra card for yourself to sell on the aftermarket.
That's
So in
nice.
theory, if you're one of the high-end artists, you can make quite a lot of money for that, and it would suck up the costs of doing it for
Yeah.
$3 per card on all the others. Whereas for me, when I'm averaging quite average, maybe sometimes low-end prices on the aftermarket, it doesn't work as well for me. So if someone wants to say, would you rather do 100 cards at $15 locked in, you know you're getting that money,
Yeah.
that works so much better for me. So it's going to be completely down to personal circumstances, I think, when it comes to artists. So I'm only speaking on my behalf. I don't want anyone to get upset watching this.
Yeah, no, I mean, because the big controversy now is like people think Fanatics took over, they've created a monopoly, they've increased the prices of the wax of the boxes to just
Yeah.
astronomical amounts, and people have been a little upset about that, hesitant to buy if the juice is worth the squeeze, but it, at least for me, definitely makes it more worthwhile, and I feel a little better paying those prices if I know they're paying better compared to 10 years ago or 8 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would say under Fanatics, I'm much happier to work for them because before that, I did stop working for quite a few years and I was just doing direct fan art to people.
Yeah.
So I look like an absolute hypocrite now, but
No, I mean,
times have changed.
you gotta get the bag. You gotta get the bag. But
Yeah.
no,
And
that's great though, that to hear that, because a lot of the times you just in our space, you hear a lot of negative about Fanatics and how they treat the collectors and all that. But it's nice to get a positive spin on that and hear that they treat you better. And I definitely love to hear that. So
yeah, I'm sure it's a mixed bag. I don't think that discredits any
yeah,
comments towards maybe how it is getting a lot more expensive and pricing a lot of the average folks out. It becomes a bit of a hobby for the wealthy. But ultimately, I mean, if I was selling my Capybara cards for $10
yeah.
and then someone was buying all of those and selling them for $30,
Hmm.
surely it's a good business decision to look at that and go, okay, maybe I should increase my price
Yeah.
because people are wanting to pay. And it's just dictated by the market. And I guess at some point there is going to be a roof and people go, okay, this is the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as you said, and
Yeah.
then things will maybe recede again. You know,
Hmm.
I don't want to say it's the end is nigh, doomsday, the bubble's going to pop.
Yeah.
I think the bubble might just shrink slightly. It's not going to completely crash out. I think we've learned too much from the 90s that we're
Yeah.
probably going to be okay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you are totally right. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on one more quick thing is I think this was really cool. So let me pull this up here. Why is it not? So this is one of your artworks, and
That's very old.
it's
Yeah.
preserved. It's preserved in a PSA slab, and you're aware with PSA. You're aware of PSA grading and how it is. It's the standard for card grading, and here is your work permanently preserved in a PSA slab with your name. Do you feel a lot of pride when you see these things? I know sports cards and trading cards, it's very nerdy. Some people don't take it very seriously, but I mean, that's your name. You are included in these big sets like Masterwork, and people are grading your cards. Do you feel immense pride? Do you feel like legitimized as an artist working on trading cards, and just how does that make you feel when you see something like this?
Yeah, definitely to see it slabbed because I used to collect slab comic books. So it does feel like a full circle moment, especially seeing the name at the top. I know in the collectors community they say that slabbing a sketch card is a bit pointless, but I guess that's just up to personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice though, because I mean, for me, that has very bad hand-eye coordination and is a little clumsy. Like I always get worried I'm gonna drop cards or spill something on them. So I'm always under the philosophy that it doesn't hurt slabbing them, because it really does protect it. It really does protect
maybe it's concern about the grade, because these are being handled many times on the desk, and the inks can soak through onto the back, and so the corners might be dinged, there might be some ink stains on the back, and I guess they take that into account, and it damages the grade, and it might mean it's more valuable to sell it without the slab. I don't know.
No, you're right. You're right. Some people say don't, never grade a 1 of 1. Never. It just doesn't add anything to it. But at least, for me, like I said, having that layer of protection to protect it from myself, I think it's worth it. But I just thought that was so cool. Your name is there on a PSA slab, and I just think this whole thing is incredibly awesome. And it's cool seeing some of the comments now. Someone asked, what was your favorite sketch card you ever did?
I guess the obvious answer would be the one of the character based on Yen, the one where she sat in the Krusty Krab eating the Krabby Patty. I think just the tone that sets as well. There's something kind of melancholy and beautiful about it. So that was always like the one in my head that was the most important. And the crazy thing was, October 1st, the day of release of these cards, I'm waiting around. Usually you'll get 1 or 2 new Instagram followers because they've pulled the card.
Yeah.
The first guy, the first of my sketches to be pulled is that one.
Oh, wow.
What are the odds?
The very first one. And he just said he pulled it, and you had he seen your video that you made about the process behind this?
That is a good question. He might be watching. Christian, are you there? So he bought it in a blaster box in a GameStop.
Wow.
And
a blaster.
I guess what happened was he found my card, searched my name, and then I was talking about the video, so he called that and was like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, but that's great. The very first. So when you put out a set, or when you're included in a set, when the release is, and you're literally sitting looking at your phone, just you want to see these start popping up, you want to see people pulling it. What is it like to know that people are pulling your cards? And I guess just the overall, just like, wow, my cards are out there into the world, like scattered around the world, like a golden Willy Wonka ticket. Like what is that? What does that feel like? That just you made all this artwork and it's tucked away, hidden in boxes all over the world. What does that feel like?
That's the big exciting bit, because so from February, March, all the way to October, I could not show anyone what I'd done here.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted to talk about it, because it was such a fantastic way to honor her.
Yeah.
And so then when it comes out, the exciting thing is, okay, so you've put all these things back into the world, and you want to see them kind of come back in through people finding them.
Yeah.
So over on my Instagram, I run a bit of a bounty hunt on it all. So I keep track of what's been found and what's yet to be found. So it kind of gets people engaged as well, because I can't see certain American eBay listings if they're not on the global shipping program. I just can't see them. So I've got to have spies out there trying to find which ones have been pulled. So especially in this day and age, where there's so many whatnot channels doing the pulls.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the deals and stuff are happening, and they're just not going to show up in Google search results.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how many. Do you know the number? How many sketch cards in total are in the product?
We tried to do the math on this. So there's about 100 artists. We're doing between 40 and 100 each, so let's say 50. Oh, wow. So that would be, my math's terrible.
No,
5,000?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay.
Really 5,000.
So
Wow.
that's been on average, I'd say. I don't think many people did large quantities of SpongeBob because we were a bit uncertain about what would and what wouldn't make it past licensing. So you're
Yeah,
probably better off playing it safe and just doing a small amount.
that's
But yeah, but let's say there's 5,000 out there. I think the odds of finding one in a blaster box was 1 in 900 packs, I want to say.
wow.
And then what would be the odds of it being one of those one specific cards that I
Yeah,
wanted to see?
and I
Absolutely
only
wild.
and I'm just thinking of the odds. Like me opening my box, I just ordered one box from Blowout Cards, which is like a pretty big just online card retailer. I buy all my boxes, like most of them from. And I just had bought one box, and yeah, I just so happened to open it in that video on my channel, and it's pretty amazing. That was the 1 in 4, um, or just one of the 4 that you made of your wife, and there's over 5,000 or almost 5,000 sketch cards, and I don't know what the hobby odds are for hitting a sketch card. It's probably 1 in like 5 or 6 boxes, and it's just pretty amazing this how this all came together, and it's just super special. Like I'm glad I got to get my reaction because like I'm sure it's really cool for you to see someone pull one of those cards of your wife and get it on video and actually have a reaction to it. And I just hope my reaction was good enough. I hope
Yeah,
I didn't I hope I didn't ruin it. I hope I didn't
because
ruin
I
it.
was I was always saying it's like, oh, it'd be so cool if one of the big streamers pulled these cards
Yeah.
because then you'd get to see it in high definition with the nice little layout and stuff. It's very exciting to see
Yeah.
that. There it is.
Yeah, there's my gross meaty hands pulling that card. And yeah, it was I mean, like I said, I've pulled a lot of sketch cards because I'm just like just a savage with this stuff, like just opening and ripping, and I've got almost 1,000 videos opening stuff, and that's just the stuff I open on camera. And I've pulled a lot of sketch cards from Garbage Pail Kids and some Star Wars, and that was easily the most detailed, colorful, amazing sketch card I've ever pulled. And I really probably would have kept it. It's a $400 box. It's like, whoa, I got, I gotta get something back. And like I just, yeah, it was that product and that box was so much fun. And like I said, I've opened so many products, and I legit think that is the best product of the year, SpongeBob Chrome, without a doubt. And yeah, you're totally embedded in it and a part of it. And I really, really think, um, I think after hearing your story, as I said earlier, not only does it make it one of the best products of the year, I think it makes it one of the best products ever. I think it's truly one of the most special stories in the hobby, and I'm just glad, I'm glad I'm able to hopefully get your story out there a bit more and have so there's the 4 cards of your wife. I pulled one. You said the very first message you got was from the other one. Are the other 2 are still out there? Have you heard anything about the other 2, or has anyone
Yeah,
else pulled any of them yet?
so the other two are still in the wild. They've yet to be pulled. So
Wow.
the hunt is still on for those.
Yeah.
As for the Krusty Krab one, so he's a super cool guy. We spoke quite a bit. He's keeping it in his personal collection, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
However, if we can find another one of my sketches from that set, he is willing to trade that with me.
Oh, that's
So
very nice.
for anyone watching, please help spread the word. If you see some streamers and stuff who are still buying SpongeBob products, I don't know where the rest of the product is right now. I know it was hard to get for people, but yeah, the hunt went from a bounty hunt to get these ones back to, okay, let's get any back and we can trade it with this guy, and
Yeah.
everyone wins.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And do you ever open a box trying to hit your own I know the odds are pretty astronomical. Do you ever open boxes trying to hit your own cards?
Remind me, how much was that box?
It's $400.
Guess how
400.
much I got paid for doing that set?
Yeah, I feel
Four
for
hundred
you.
dollars.
I feel for you,
That
man.
was about 600, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean,
I
yeah.
used to, many years ago, back under the Topps ownership, you could get them for $4 or $5. So I'd buy one just to have the empty wrapper as a bit of a memento of working on the set.
That's
But
cool.
as time went on, I lost track. I wasn't able to keep buying the packages.
Yeah, no, I mean it is ridiculous. It is ridiculously I mean, you just think SpongeBob, and it's part of our childhood. It's made for kids, and it's a $400 box, and it's like, we're no longer we're no longer
Yeah,
kids, and Topps
it's
knows that.
definitely for the kids who've grown up and have disposable income. It's
Yeah,
definitely not for an
no,
actual child.
it's pretty hilarious. And they've never asked, like, offered you a box, like, just as a for fun or anything, or
Now, the only guy I knew who was sending boxes out was the guy who made this, and he's a bit of a dick. So,
but yeah. So how many sets would you say you've worked on, if you have that off the top of your head?
um, including this year, we're probably over 50 at this point,
Wow.
and that would be 3,000 cards, maybe.
Wow. Wow.
That's a lot of hours.
Over 3,000 cards just out there. And does it do you ever think that there are cards of yours, like, do you ever think about how some of your cards may never get pulled? Like the SpongeBob, 100%, that is going to be every box that'll be open, because I don't think they made a ton, and it's really fun set. But some of the earlier Star Wars sets, does it ever occur to you that some are still out there from like 10 years, almost 10 years ago? Do you ever think
Yeah,
about that?
yeah. One from almost 10 years ago got pulled about 2 weeks ago from me.
Oh, wow.
Black and white New Hope set, I believe it was.
Wow.
So they can come around eventually. But the interesting thing with the Star Wars is when I do the little checklist to see which ones of mine have been pulled.
Yeah.
Star Wars, you could do 50 cards and you'll maybe see 10
Wow.
over the first couple of months, and that's it. Whereas with
Wow.
SpongeBob, we found that 10 in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I think, like you said, it's the demand is there, people are buying it up, and yeah, with the Star Wars, I don't really know where it goes. Maybe people really like to keep sealed product for that. Maybe in 10
Yeah.
years' time, there's going to be a lot of stuff hitting the market. But
Yeah, no, I mean, it's possible, and that is crazy. So from you said from 2016, a card just got pulled.
yeah, I think you tagged me in it. I'll have to go back and find it. But yeah, it makes me cringe a bit because even with this 6 month delay from actually doing it to release,
Yeah.
I've had so much more experience and feel like I'm putting out better stuff that I start to cringe a bit at my old
Yeah.
stuff. So
That
it's
makes sense. I mean, makes sense. But
it's
yeah, so let's open. We exchanged
oh yeah.
gifts.
Let's get that from the context. So when you found that card and I reached out to you, all I wanted was to steal your footage. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
But you went above and beyond and offered to send me a
Yes.
card, which is insane considering the value of it, and
Yeah.
incredibly generous considering how sentimental those four
Yeah.
cards are to me.
And
So
no,
obviously I went crazy because I couldn't accept such a thing. So I was trying to force loads of artist proofs and stuff on you, and you're like, no, 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 no.
yeah, no, yeah, no, as I said, I don't, for me, you lose someone close to you. It's like, it gives you a different perspective. Money is far secondary. It's like you wouldn't, there isn't a price on having another day, week, month with someone you've lost. So like, I could never ask for money. I just, to me, that is special enough. And honestly, like, yeah, I didn't even want any praise, nothing. Like, it's just, to me, this is like instinctual. Needed you to have this. So we exchanged gifts. He finally got me to accept something. And again, I have it here. He's gonna open his package for the first time since getting it. And he sent me these. We're gonna open these two cards, and see what he sent me. But yeah, I'll give you the stage. I'm just
Yeah,
I get so nervous because I hope it didn't get damaged. I'm like, oh please no. Like it's nerve
I'm
wracking
sure it's
to
fine.
me. Yeah.
We can get it graded. So yeah, you sent me some pictures of your cat.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I sent you some pictures of a dog. I didn't.
All good.
Okay,
But yeah, I'm going to give you the stage first. Let's see, because
okay, did that work?
I'm just so hoping it's not damaged. I would be a wreck. But you have the stage.
Is it mirrored? It looks like is the text backwards on this?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, okay. It's just my screen. Okay, I've never done an unboxing on camera before. Do I have to like scream and freak out like
no.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't stand when people do that. The inorganic just screaming.
If
Like
they genuinely feel like that, then great for them. Like there was one of the bangos being pulled, and that did sound sincere, so that was very nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen many where it's just the 1 of 25. Let's go! Oh my, there's more than.
I put some cards around it, to keep it safe, just in case.
These are pretty.
I think they had sketch cards for this Disney film.
They did. I got turned down. But that's another story for another time. So we got Grumpy. We got Ulf. Let's go. That's pretty nice. And here's the important part.
Oh, there
so
it is.
Beautiful. And there she is, the end character. Rees Chua-Finlay. Thank you so much. It's an honor to bring this home.
Yeah, there's no place I'd rather be. Yep.
The environmental impact of this is horrific because it started in the States, came here to be illustrated, sent back to the States, then sent to the store that you bought it from, and then back to the UK. So it's got a bit of a Taylor Swift carbon emission going on there. But thank you so much. It's incredible.
Thank you for doing this. I mean, for putting your story and artistic integrity and taking this very seriously. And again, I mean, we open this stuff and it's our, we grew up with opening cards, and this is our favorite hobby. And for people like you to take it seriously and make it better, and not, anytime we bring up our that we collect cards or this is our hobby, to the average adult, like most people think we're crazy and silly, and we need to just grow up. But you take it seriously and you make it a lot better. So thank you.
I mean, do I look like a man who's grown up? I don't know. I think I'm not really around those sort of people who judge about that sort of thing. So it's, nerdiness is just fine. It's just fine around here.
Yeah.
Don't question it. In terms of putting that character in there, it was such a huge gamble because I didn't want to lose any job prospects. But at the same time, I figured if it was tasteful, if it was in line with their style guide, and, not to, I think it would have been wrong to just draw her character on a card as it was. That probably wouldn't have made it through.
Yeah.
Process anyway, but to put it in scenes, some of our favorite scenes from the movie and the shows, I think that was the best way to honor her while also honoring Tops and Fanatics as well. Because I didn't want to step on anyone's toes.
You did it perfectly. Like you said, it wasn't, obnoxious, like one giant card. You fit it in so perfect that it all got approved and everything worked out just fine. And very, 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 very special and cool. But yeah, let me open mine. I got 2 cards here. Let's do
this. There's a story behind both.
So all right, let's do this here. Hold it up to the camera. Oh man.
Hey. So this one, I called in a favor from another UK-based artist who's also worked on Tops, Upper Deck, lots of trading card companies, by the name of Craig Hallam's, who's at Craig Hallam's Art. And he is incredible with line work. That line work will blow your tits clean off. The
It
amount of
really
detail
does.
and every little piece of fur.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is pretty amazing. I mean, this is for everyone, this is my cat Gray. And in my videos, she's kind of like a recurring character because she gets very needy, and you'll hear her over the mic while I'm recording, and I have to tell people, like, that's not your cat meowing in the background, that's mine. So, don't be alarmed. And she gets extremely needy at the worst times. Like when there's a huge release and I'm like, this is going to be a video that gets a lot of views. I need to take it seriously and know the product. And you'll just hear her going crazy. And it's always works out like that. And she's just going crazy. But this is pretty damn special. She's 13. So, she's in her golden years. And this is, yeah, something like I will really just cherish for the rest of my life. And I really, really appreciate that. It's honestly, our cats are their family. Like it makes me a little emotional, but very, very special. And let's do the other one. Let's do the other one.
So this one's from me. And going back to what I was saying earlier,
Oh,
where people were
nice.
reaching out asking for commissions, people really wanted those Van Goghs.
That
I can't do a SpongeBob Van Gogh, but I can do Gray the cat.
oh my god. I mean, that this like this this is this is officially my favorite card I've ever had in my life. I've spent stupid amounts of money on cards, well into the thousands, overpaid on cards, and at times of the boom where they aren't worth that much now. And I have cards like some of my favorite athletes, but nothing compares to our feline friends. This is Reese. That is it's so funny and just hilarious because she's such a goofball. But I mean, I am I am like over the moon with
Thank
these.
you.
I mean,
It was
thank
an
you
honor
so
to milk
much.
that Pikachu one last time.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually incredible. No, I'm super thankful. And for everyone here, for Reese, I put his yeah, is it mirrored on mine as well? It's backwards.
It looks fine on my end, so I guess it's just how we were
Oh
seeing
yeah.
it.
So
That's
yeah,
a very
everyone.
old business card, but the Etsy store is still there. And now that that painting's public, I'm going to offer commissions of people who want their own pet portraits. Obviously, I can't do any copyrighted stuff, no Star Wars, no
Yeah, yeah,
SpongeBob, but personal pet portraits and stuff. Hit me
yeah.
up and hopefully get something in time for Christmas for people.
That would be. I mean, the detail and the eye, her eyes, everything. It is honestly, it's special. It's hilarious because, like I said, she's such a goofy cat, and she's all serious in a Van Gogh painting, and this is so special, and I really love it. And a lot of people, this is like primetime American football, so just started. And that's like all my viewers are probably watching football, but I'm going to put this on after, upload the full thing, and it'll get many more views. So I really, really hope people reach out to Reese. I'm putting his YouTube and Instagram in the description, so please follow him. And Reese, if there's anything else more you want to say or plug or anything, just
Uh,
really thankful for your time.
no, I think that's about it, really. The YouTube channel is new. We debuted with the SpongeBob video talking about all the steps I went through to get that through licensing and make it happen. And now it's just me just trying to find my voice again, really, because it's been a very isolated year of just trying to work out who I am now and
Yeah.
where to go from here. So I think having that outlet to make content and talk out loud is quite helpful. And then, yeah, the commissions, I can do that as long as it's nothing untoward. And the hunt for any card from SpongeBob would be
Here, I'm gonna
great.
I'm
I'd
just gonna
require
put it
it.
up there again real quick, just so people. Oops, where'd you go? All right, here we go. But yeah, so again, for anyone that pulls the Patrick is still out there, and where they're all at the that's the episode when they're at the comedy show, correct? Right?
Yeah, oh brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah. So that the one in the middle, the very middle, and the one on the left with Patrick and the parachute from that was also from the movie, right? Yeah. So those two are
Yeah,
still out
it's
there.
almost a scene afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those two are still out there. So if you do find those, please hit up Reese on
But if we find
Instagram.
any others and I can trade, or if the market comes down a bit, I could probably buy one. But
Yeah.
then we can trade that for the other one with the Krusty Krabs. So, fate might bring all 4 of them back. We'll see.
I really hope so. And yeah, I would, I really hope this video gets out there and people do see. So, and also with the Van Gogh, before we sign off here, I know the Mrs. Puff was pulled, and the Squidward. Has the SpongeBob or Mr. Krabs been pulled yet, as far as you know?
Well, there's 9 in total.
Oh, you did 9 Van Goghs. Wow.
Yeah. I did 10, but one got rejected. It's Sandy. I think her eyes were a bit wonky, but it's fine. So Mrs. Puff was 1.2. I think it was Patrick who was 1.75.
Wow. Holy crap.
And then there was one that was pulled by that streamer who was very excited, but it seemed sincere, so it's fine. I think his went for 2. I think, from what I understand, it was a rip and ship. So he was meant to ship it to someone, but he was like, "No, I want this."
Yeah.
And set a new record. So I have accidentally become important at work.
Is that as far as you know the most one of your sketch cards is sold for?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, back when we had artist proofs to sell, I was ecstatic because one sold for 250.
Yeah.
So in my head, like, that was like the best I was capable of. So to see it just go up into the stratosphere. Obviously, there's a lot of different factors at play with that. Obviously, the rarity of even getting a box of these has driven the prices up. So I think that makes all the prices of the hits go up, if I understand correctly.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying 400 for a box, the hit's going to be the thing that's worth most of that 400.
And this is, I mean, they make different Star Wars sets every year, but like this is the first SpongeBob Topps Chrome set, and it is for the 25th anniversary. This one will always be the premier SpongeBob set. Like, it will could never be duplicated. This is it. This is the flagship best SpongeBob set they could do. Maybe they'll make one next year or the year after, but the 25th anniversary and first one will always be the best and the one the collectors really want the most. And
I mean, it could sustain yearly or maybe every other year, but I got a feeling it's going to be just for this year because it's the anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And SpongeBob's doing a lot of brand collabs. I mean, there's some Squidward Crocs I saw. So I think it's just, it's the year of SpongeBob really in terms of marketing. And, there's a new movie coming out and my niece got invited to the premiere. There's just so much going on that's SpongeBob related right now. It's certainly surreal. So if anyone believes in magic and stuff, I think there is something going on. But
I totally agree, man. I really do. I think, I mean, just how this all played out. The first message you get was the sketch you made that your favorite sketch of all time, the one that means the most to you, and probably I'm gonna argue. I mean, I'm gonna say it's probably the greatest sketch ever put in a Topps set. Seriously, I really think so.
I can't take compliments, so I'm going to disagree and say that it's maybe the most important because it's got story, it's got imagination. In terms of the best, it's stuff. There's some incredibly rendered stuff out there, and the Van Goghs. There's so much effort that goes into those. Every single brushstroke is a tiny brushstroke from a paintbrush. So I think it's probably not a marvel, but in terms of like the sentiment and what it's loaded with, it almost goes from illustration and qualifies as art, which is something I've always aspired to. Because I don't see sketch cards as art per se. For me, art has to be a bit more creative than just copying a movie screenshot or whatever. So I think with Spongebob, we started to kind of marry my two worlds, where on the one hand, I'm copying from movie screenshots, and then on the other hand, I'm doing original stuff, and we've kind of met in the middle, which is quite beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, yeah, you're right. Maybe, the Van Goghs definitely sure took you said it, how long did it take to make a van? You said it took you a whole day to do that?
Yeah, your one took a whole Saturday, and I had
Wow.
to hide you from my story because I couldn't help but post about it.
But yeah, no, yeah, I guess it's, as I say, it's subjective, and I just think the sentiment behind those cards make it, in my opinion, the greatest. And I don't think it's just, yeah, the aura, and just how special those cards are. I just, again, I thank you for doing this, and I'm glad I could get you that card back. Um, and I know, nobody will appreciate it like you. So, that's why I really wanted you to have that back. So
Yeah,
thank you
thank you so
again.
much. I appreciate it. And it will be displayed permanently on the shelves behind us in all future YouTube videos. So you can look out for that.
Yeah, and um, as you said, you have my full blessing if you want to trade that one with the guy to get the other one. You would have my blessing to do that.
I appreciate that, but I think
Yeah.
if we're just kind of rolling with the flow of the universe for everything that's happening, I think we should try and go for all four coming back. It's
I like
so
that
cool to
plan.
see it
I
come
like
back
that
home like
plan.
that. So yeah, we'll
So
hold out for now. I think getting the word out there with all your help. I mean, when you shared the link to the video, the views doubled. So
hell yeah.
I appreciate that signal boost as well to help get the message out among collectors, because sketch cards, it's a niche within a niche within a niche. So
Mhm.
it's really hard to get any sort of attention, which is fine because I'm being paid from corporate. It's not like I need to be internet famous or anything. But at times like this, it's like
Yeah.
having some reach online would be quite helpful.
Yeah, and I do think some higher ups and people do check out my channel just from things I've heard and messages I've got about videos. So I hope tops and people that are way bigger than me are able to get it out even more, and you know raise some awareness. Because, man, if you got all four back, that would be something, man. That would be
It would be
something.
amazing. But if anyone from Fanatics is watching, I'm sorry I possibly touched upon criticism of you earlier. I didn't
No,
mean any of
no.
it. It was satire. It was a joke.
If
It didn't
anything,
happen. It's AI.
if any, if anything, I always was hesitant about them, but that is really good to hear. They treat you better, and that's, to me,
I'm
that
happy.
matters the
That's
most.
all I can
Yeah,
say. But yeah,
if you're happy, I'm happy, and I think that will, again, help their reputation in the eyes of some of the viewers and people that'll see this. So, um,
yeah. I mean, they did listen to us, and there was communication and back and forth of like trying to reach that number and kind of find a happy medium. But yeah, I think objectively speaking, and seeing it from their point of view as well, I think this is a really good
yeah,
future that we could forge together as artists and a company.
yeah,
It
no,
sounds so
that's great.
corporate. I don't know why I said that.
I
We've got
mean,
synergy.
it sounded good. It sounded really good, but uh so yeah, they've got you around, you're working on some other stuff. You don't have to, give anything
Yeah,
away,
I
but
mean,
it's good.
there's about six more sets coming up that I'm on.
Awesome. So you'll,
Usually things go quiet in the winter, which is what's happening currently, and I
yeah.
go a little bit insane with nothing to do, which is why I've been making helmets and stuff, as you'll see on my Instagram. But
Yeah.
hopefully the next bit of work will come in a month or so, and the cycle continues.
Great. So people look for Reese's cards in many future I mean, 6 you're working on. So look for his cards in the future. I really want to thank you for coming on, and
Thank
we've
you.
done a whole hour, and it just kind of flew by. I mean, this is so special to me. These are
This is so
my
special to
favorite
me.
cards. Yeah, I mean, trade
Let's
well
get
worth
all
it.
in so we can
Trade
screenshot. There
well
we
worth it.
go.
Yeah, trade well worth it. So Reese, thank you so much. Um,
Thank you for having me.
anything else you want to plug or say? I know you talked about the Van Gogh paintings and commissioned artwork, and but if any
Yeah,
other
I'm going to get that
or
added. I'm going to get that added to the Etsy, and you can also buy the Clash of the Capybaras card game. But I'm going to speak to DJ after this. I'm going to send you over a bunch of boxes of various sets, and you can do some sort of giveaway or
all right
promotion, whatever works for a stream. So a little treat for the viewers there. I can't see any of your comments, so if you're being mean,
No, people are being more than nice. People are being more.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out, and for everyone that's going to watch the replay. Appreciate you all. Peace.
DJ rips with his fingertips. He'll go broke by the end of this.